Hello, good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Vinny Motiwala, along with me, Cheryl D'Souza as well. Cheryl, a very good afternoon to you as well. And markets have been in that range, nothing exciting that is happening, but it's recovered from the day's lowest point, at least as of now.
Absolutely, markets are trading in the range. If you look at it, it is actually flat with the positive bias. But take a look at what Irida is doing actually in the bottom of the screen. 9%, approximately 10% uptick coming in for that particular counter on back of its earnings is locked in the upper circuit right now. If you look at their PAT, it's seen an uptick as much as 67% on a year-on-year basis, coming in at around 336 crore rupees. You have NII also that's seen a sharp uptick of about 38% on a year-on-year basis, coming at around 448 crore rupees. If you look at the operating profit or PPOP, that's also seen an uptick of about 49% coming in for Ireda, and that's actually auguring well for the stock as well. As you can see it on your screen right now, it's locked in the upper circle about 10% or so. So yes, that's all about Ireda. In fact, that could be the first stock on Market Fatafat today.
Absolutely, that could be the first stock on Market Fatafat. Buzzing away in trade, just reported its numbers right now, just a short while ago. But keeping an eye out on that, a lot of other individual movers in trade on the back of news flows, numbers and technicals as well. On the technicals, we're joined by Aditya Agarwala, while from the research team, we do have Ansh joining in with us. A very good afternoon to both of you all as well. Let me start with the first stock, then I'll be talking about actually the second one we could say today on the show is SIS. This one too is buzzing away in trade, and this is on the back of a contract that SIS has won for security of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Now, this agreement is signed with the Ram Mandir Trust by SIS, and this is to provide security guards to the complex, and that has, they have currently deployed as many as 25 private security guards, whose number will be increased to 50 from the 1st of June as well. And this is what we are understanding. We also did speak to the management today as well. And obviously, they're talking about how there's more demand actually for the security solutions. And for them, their work at Ayodhya will only start after 23rd of June. And that's what they're working on. Security contract at the Ram Mandir Ayodhya. That's why we're seeing the stock buzzing away in trade. As of now, holding on to gains of 9.5%.
All right, let's shift focus. Let's talk about RITES. In that particular counter saw a good jump in today's trading session. They informed the exchanges that they have bagged a substantial order coming in from IIT Bhubaneswar, and the order is worth about 414 crore rupees. And on back of this order win, as you can see it on your screen, 17% uptick coming in for RITES in today's trading session.
Okay, that is RITES for y'all. Let's move on and talk about the first stock that's on the technicals. And Aditya, when I'm looking at it, Petronet LNG today also buzzing away in trade. Last 5 days also has started seeing a very sharp uptick in the last 5 days specifically. Now on the charts, what is Petronet LNG indicating?
Good afternoon, Vinny. Thanks for coming on the show. It's on the verge of a breakout from a consolidation pattern, and if you actually move to a high time frame charts, you will notice that the stock actually hasn't done much for itself. It's been in that narrow consolidation zone for some time now. But my sense is the recent up move suggests that the stock should break out anytime soon from that consolidation phase, and then a sustained trade above 250 odd levels can trigger a sharp breakout in the stock. And if it's backed by volume, nothing like it. And it can actually test levels of 290 to about 300 as well on the upside. Good thing is stock has been making higher highs, higher lows for some time now, which clearly suggests that the uptrend is intact and it's going strong at the moment. Therefore, at current levels, I'm preempting a breakout in the stock, and I would be a buyer in the stock for targets of 290 to about 300. And all the indicators are also suggesting the bullish up move to continue.
All right, bullish up move expected for Petronet LNG. Ansh, coming to you, HUL definitely not looking bullish in today's trading session on back of its earnings.
Yes, that's right. The stock is down by over 3% in trade today. So actually they have reported revenue at 15,228 crore, which is down by around 0.3%. Whereas if you see EBITDA and EBITDA margin, they were almost flat. And net profit was up by around 0.6% to 2,505 crore. We also have a brokerage note from Morgan Stanley on the stock, and they have maintained equal weight rating, and they have also cut the target price from 2,502 to 2,464. They have also said that the volume growth remains weak at 2%, and corporate market shares is expected to drop over the next few months. And also if we see the charts, then the stock seems to have given a breakdown from its upward sloping support trend line and has also slipped below its 50 and 100 DMA, touching 2-month low on intraday basis.
Absolutely, but we had other brokerage notes also, whether you look at a CLSA, HSBC, Daulat and Haitong, they all have actually cut the target price for HUL and also downgraded the stock. CLSA downgraded the stock to an underperform from an outperform and also cut the EPS also. That's CLSA cut it by 3 to 4% as well. And similarly, the other brokerages like HSBC, Daulat and Haitong, like I mentioned. But listen into what the management had to say in terms of the trajectory, in terms of regional competition. Where do they see in terms of the sectors which have been impacted by that? Listen in.
We've always had regional players across length and breadth of our country. During inflation and tough times, consumers tend to prefer big brands, and a lot of the supply chain gets more and more challenging. A lot of the regional local players tend to leave the market, especially in categories where there's very low entry exit barriers or segments with the low entry exit barriers. The impact is mainly on detergent bars and in some cases on rest of the laundry and a little bit of tea and some to some degree in soaps. I think that's really the explanation on this phenomenon. Of course, we've gained market shares quite handsomely. So I believe we are in a very, very strong position, even from point of profitability, to now take this business to the next level. We believe we are on a long trajectory of investing behind this business, and there's a huge amounts of opportunities and degrees of growth still left in the HFD business, which is exactly the reason why we got into this.
All right, so that's the management of HUL as well, and the stock is not looking that pleasing in trade today. Aditya, coming to you, let's talk about JK Paper, and how is this particular counter looking to you on the charts? Because in between, we did see a lot of momentum in this particular counter.
Hi, Cheryl. Yes, absolutely. I think JK Paper is on the verge of a breakout into an all-time high territory. After a decent upmove, stock did witness a bit of a correction, and from there it's bounced back. What is important is the supports held on in the correction, and now it's forming higher highs, higher lows again. My sense is if it starts to trade above any levels of 440 to about 445, stock can test levels of 530 as well. So this will be more of a longer term play. I think there is decent money making opportunity here. Risk to reward is also favoring. RSI is entered into 60 bull zone beyond 60, which is the bull territory. So it is favoring going long at the current levels in the stock.
Okay, that is stock number 5 for today, but we're going to sip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more stocks after the break.
Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now, and come 2 p.m. we have a very special coverage for you leading to the biggest event of the year that is slated to take place on January 22nd. So yes, at 2 p.m. we have an all special show lined up for you, so don't miss to catch that special show. But for now, let's talk about the stocks that are actually in focus. And Vinny, definitely one stock that has been on everyone's radar over the last 2 weeks or so, it has to be Polycab.
Absolutely.
But this time, why is it?
This time it's actually because of a brokerage note that we have, and this one is coming from Citi. So they're maintaining a buy with a target price of 6,276 rupees. They're saying that the cable and wire business growth is something that is strong. FMEG business has remained weak for the company, but in terms of balance sheet and working capital, that remains healthy. And they're saying that Q4 is likely to be better going forward as well. But as of now, like you can see, the stock has given up all those morning gains, trading with cuts of almost 1.1 to 1.5%. So yes, let's keep an eye out on Polycab today. A bit subdued in trade, despite the note that has come in from Citi on Polycab.
All right, so that is Polycab that is in focus in today's trading session. Let's talk about HFCL, and surprise, surprise, that particular counter has actually hit over 2-year high in today's trading session. As you can see it on the screen, 11% uptick coming in for HFCL, hitting a 2-year high as well. The company has said that it's got a purchase order worth about 623 crore rupees, and remember the stock had hit a low, or rather all-time low, right up in 2000, in the year 2000 rather. But if you see, the stock has actually risen about 28% over the last 30 days altogether. What the company has actually said that they have bagged an order, and on back of that particular order win, we can see the stock trading higher by about 11% or so.
Okay, that is on the back of an auto win. But Aditya, you two have picked out HFCL. What is your chart indicating for HFCL? Where do you see it headed?
Oh, Vinny, I believe it's the start of a fresh up move in the stock, though it has moved significantly higher from the lows of 52-week. From there, it entered into consolidation phase. But if you actually look at the chart in totality from all-time highs, it's way beyond its all-time high. It was somewhere around 2,000, 2,500 odd levels. At current levels, I still believe there is a money-making opportunity in the stock. It has broken out from a bullish flag pattern. If one latches onto the stock, even at current levels, I believe the stock can test levels of 120 to about 130 in the near time frame, maybe a month or so as well. And look at the volumes with which the stock has broken out from that consolidation. They're massive, and it's a continuation post that volume breakout as well. Plus, the indicators are also suggesting this is just the start of a move. So I would be a buyer in HFCL and put a decent amount of money, if I can say that, and hold on to it at least for a quarter and look for a target of 130 at least.
Right, hold on to HFCL if you already have it, a target of about 130 over the next 2 quarters, and I stand corrected. Actually, the stock had hit an all-time high of around 2,500 in the year 2000, and it's substantially lower from those levels, but there are a lot of adjustments also to keep in mind for HFCL. But moving on, Ash, let's talk about RBL Bank and how are their earnings.
So the stock is up by around 1.5% in trade today, and they have reported net interest income, which is up by 11.6% to 1,426 crore, whereas they have reported profit, which is up by 11% at 233 crore. In PPOP, we are seeing a jump of around 35% to 765 crore. Provisions, we are seeing a decline by 28.5% to 458 crore, whereas advances are up by 20% and deposit is up by 13% on year-on-year basis. Under this, deposit less than 2 crore has shown a growth of around 23%. Also, if you see the charts, the stock seems to be snapping its 3-session losing streak, taking support at 50 DMA level.
Surely keeping an eye out on RBL Bank, but NIIT at stock number 10. Aditya, what's the view coming in on the charts over here, and what is the target price that one should keep?
It's a strong breakout, Vinny, from a 3-month consolidation. Again, it was a long consolidation phase. I'm looking at a target of 150 at least from current levels, and if 150 is also taken out, stock can test levels of 180. Volumes are pretty healthy. So even at current levels, I would do fresh buying in the stock with a stop loss close to about 110 and look for a target of at least 150 to about 180 in the near term.
Okay, that is NIIT, but let's move on to the next stock, and that is CreditAccess Grameen. This one is in focus on the back of its quarterly numbers. When you're looking at it, what Nomura is saying overall, it's an inline set of numbers that has come in from the company, and they believe that this is quite a play that is coming in the MFI segments. They're maintaining a buy, and obviously in terms of the net profits of the company that have gone up by around 2% on a quarter-on-quarter basis, while 63% on a year-on-year basis. Even what is driving the return on asset and return on equity, that is at around 5.5 and 23.6% is what they're seeing there as well. And other than that, the AUM growth of 31% is seen on a year-on-year basis. So yes, overall they've seen an inline set of numbers that has come in from CreditAccess Grameen, so they're keeping an eye out on that. And what they have also highlighted that the company has actually maintained the guidance across all the variables, so that's an important focus area to keep an eye out on. As well as the stock is trading quite flat, 21%, so I beg your pardon, 0.21% uptick is what we're seeing in CreditAccess Grameen.
Alright, let's put the spotlight on the PSU major, that is Coal India, and that particular account has hit an over 8-year high in today's trading session. At one point in time, the stock was trading higher by approximately 4%, and yeah, it's holding on to those levels as of now as well. The company is in talks with the Coal Ministry for licensing a lithium block for exploration. This is what the wire agency Informist actually reported. The company will likely make an investment of around 200 to 300 crore rupees for the exploration. However, the Ministry of Mines, which will allot the lithium block, is not part of the discussions yet. This is all source-based information coming in from the wire agency Informist. They're saying as per law, the government has to allot mining blocks through competitive bidding, but it has the power to allot a block to the state-owned company such as Coal India for strategic reasons without inviting bids. Remember, on Thursday, you had the CCEA that approved the proposals by the subsidiaries of the company to set up a thermal power plant as well. So, a culmination of news leading to this good, strong up move coming in for Coal India today.
Let's move on and talk about Canfin Homes then. And Aditya, after being quite dull for the last 6 months, finally, can we expect a good up move for Canfin Homes?
I think so, Vinny, because it's broken out from a narrow consolidation on a very shorter term time frame charts, even though it's yet to break out from that long consolidation triangle pattern, which it has been developing over months. I believe if it sustains beyond 800 odd levels, the stock can easily test levels of 940 to about 950 in the near term. And given the fact that the risk to reward is in favor of going long in this stock at current levels, I would not shy away from looking at the stock at current levels. Maybe immediate target would be around 840. If that is taken out, 950 is what I'm eyeing the stock.
Let's move on. Let's talk about Cachi. And Ansh, why is this one in focus today?
So the stock has actually jumped by over 11% in trade today. The stock has reported revenue at around 113 crore, which is up by 61% on year-on-year basis. Net profit is also seeing a jump of 64% to 16.1 crore, whereas EBITDA also seeing a jump of around 61% to 22.5 crore. Everything in 60s actually. Company has also given guidance of increasing EBITDA margin further in upcoming quarters. Also, the current capacity is at 14,000 MTPA and the company plans to increase it by around 50% of around 7,200 MTPA. Also, if you see the charts, the stock has touched its record high level and it trades above key DMA levels.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. And Aditya, this one, after not doing anything for the last 6 months, today seems like the stock is really buzzing away in trade, and that is Hindustan Oil Exploration. What's the view now on the charts? Is it something like a breakout that we expected?
Yes, Vinny, it's a breakout from a falling channel, and look at the volumes with which the stock has broken out. Clearly looks like it's a trend reversal, at least an intermediate trend reversal for the stock. And at current levels, I would be a buyer in the stock. At least look for a target of 200. That's the immediate term target. If 200 is taken out, 210, 220 can also be seen. Again, this could be more of a positional trade because it's broken out from a good consolidation phase. So I expect the move to continue and sustain at least for a week or so. So you can buy at current levels. It's offering a good opportunity. At current levels, the downside is limited to 180, and on the upside, I'm expecting at least 210. Beyond that, 220, 230, as I mentioned. Plus RSI 2 is in the bull zone. So all ticks for the stock, and looks like it's headed to 210.
Okay, let's move on and talk about the next stock that we are keeping an eye out on is KPI Green. The company's subsidiary has actually bagged a new order for executing a solar power project. The company told the exchanges that the new order is of around 5.60 megawatt for executing this solar power project that they have received from Messrs KPIG Energia Private Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of under captive power producers segment. And the company also said that this order they've received is for Shri Varudi Paper Mill LLP and is scheduled to be completed in the financial year 24-25. So keeping an eye out on KPI Green today, trading with gains of almost 1% as of now.
Alright, so that is KPI Green, slew of earnings coming in. Rajratan Global Wires, there's a dip in the PAT, so the stock is reeling under pressure, and Canfin Home numbers are just hitting your screen. But with that, we are totally out of time on this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you so much, Ansh, Aditya, for joining us on the show, as well as viewers. We finally come to this week's edition of Market Fatafat. So it's a goodbye from Vinny, myself, our producer Soma Shri, as well as our directors Trevor, as well as Santosh. Thank you so much for watching.